Hey everyone, Van here from Getting Cheezy with Van and Jeezy. Say what up, Jeezy.
What's up? This is Jeezy.
Someday, probably a year from now, we'll be able to stop talking about coronavirus. But here we
Probably
are,
not. Probably not even a year from now.
probably
We'll
not a
still be
year from
talking
now.
about it.
We'll still be talking about it. But right
And in
now, what?
and in 20 years, you and I will get to say the big one, the pandemic.
This is like the fifth end of the world we've lived through, though. It was like the Mayan 2012 calendar, the '08 recession, COVID. We had H1N1, we had SARS, we had swine flu, mad cow disease. Here we are.
You're right.
Anyways, the NFL and NFLPA have agreed upon COVID-19 testing daily for the first 2 weeks of training camp,
I saw
which
that,
is good.
and they're talking about at least every other day as their new minimum.
Yes.
After that,
Yes.
I think that's a good thing. And the other thing I saw that is an important note about this is they are using national testing facilities, so they're not expected to have any impact on the local testing capabilities or capacity. So I think that's pretty important that they're keeping an eye on that.
Yeah, there's some pretty interesting like distinctions too. There's tier 1 players and tier 2 players. So tier 1 is, tier 1 people at personnel are the players, coaches, trainers, those kind of people. Tier 2 are more of your admin, GMs, presidents, football operations people, whatever else. So um there's a whole bunch of stuff here about like if the rates like the positive test rates drop below 5% for both of those tiers, then it'll go to every other day testing. But I mean, it's smart, right? It's the smart thing. You've got the NBA is basically coming back in a bubble. Like they're basically, you know, homing it, like holding everybody up in Disney and saying, you live here now. And I heard that they had no positive cases when they last tested, which was like yesterday. So that's good.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. Nobody gets sick if nobody has it to give it to someone else. So if it's a.
But I also heard rumors of sneaking ladies into the bubble.
You're telling me people are sneaking in partners? You're telling me conjugal visits are happening?
They're not in jail. I mean,
They're in the most wonderful place on earth.
You can't be in jail in the most wonderful place on earth.
I mean,
huh?
One other thing that's interesting in here is that players will also have to wear proximity recording devices during team activities to further track and prevent
Really?
like an outbreak. So they can like very precisely understand the contact tracing if anybody comes back positive.
Yeah. It's got to be like some kind of RFID interaction type thing.
I saw it looks it's really small little thing, but
interesting. I do know too, related to the NBA thing, baseball starting up again in just a little bit, maybe next week even. But I don't know why baseball even really stopped, because baseball is like the lowest contact sport of all the sports. Like you are literally spread out on purpose.
Well,
the closest people are the batter and the catcher,
and the baseman when they're
sitting
running
first and third. Yeah, standing on base. But even then, right? You got your batting helmet. Just put a mask on the batting helmet.
It makes sense to me.
I know. No one from the MLB has called me yet to ask me about it. Still waiting. You can even call us on the cheese line, 980-224-3399. I'll even answer it. Shameless plug. But going back to the whole COVID thing, the NFL has made a concession, and they've offered the NLPA to play 0 preseason games leading up to the regular season, which the players didn't really want preseason to begin with anyways, and they said we want to shorten one, and now here we are with the NFL potentially giving up all preseason.
Yeah, the other thing that's interesting, so obviously preseason hurts new players, lower draftees, that type of personnel on the player side. So they're talking about as a concession or a way to balance that to increase the size of the practice squad that you can keep. So basically making the roster a little bit bigger.
Didn't they already do that?
So they're proposing to increase practice squads from 12 to 16 players to further expand the roster.
Sure.
Is what CBS Sports is reporting.
Sure.
So I think that makes sense. I think, if we can add more players to the practice squad, see them develop in practice after,
the big thing is practice. I mean, game is basically for show, but I feel like you have 90% of your knowledge on a guy already from practice. We talk about practice.
Yeah, I mean, there are some things that you can't replicate in practice that I think you kind of get somebody's guts when they're on the field. But yeah, I agree. I mean, I think a coach knows where a guy is from the work they're putting in at practice.
Right.
You
So
play how you practice.
yeah, we'll see. And the last thing here in the new news section is I think the Madden ratings might be completely out, all the way out. We got our list of 99s here, our 99 overalls. We've got Aaron Donald.
Duh.
We talked about Chris McCaffrey last week.
Another.
Michael Thomas, like, fucking why?
I,
Because otherwise he'd cry, pitch a
I
fit.
was, I was surprised actually by. So if you look at their substats, Christian
Mhm.
McCaffrey, speed 92, acceleration 93,
Sure.
faster than Michael Thomas's ratings. I was
Yeah, Michael
surprised by
Thomas is
that.
good at catching like out routes and like little things. He's not. I don't think 99 is worth it, but Mahomes we talked about already 99. Stephon Gilmore 99, and that's it for 99s. Then you get
That's
Bobby
it.
Wagner, DeAndre Hopkins, George Kittle, J.J. Watt, Zach Martin as the 98s, and so on and so forth. So there's that. Yeah, I just can you like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Spit it out.
I just some of these ratings don't sit right with me. That's all. One rating that does sit right with me,
I
Dave
know Wiz.
Bakhtiari, 96 overall.
You love that man.
I do. Devontae Adams, 94 overall.
I think that's well deserved.
And then we've got 390s here. Aaron Jones, we talked about. Jair Alexander.
He's good. He's been good.
Kenny Clark, 90, I feel is a little low for him. And then you've got Aaron Rodgers, 89, we talked about already. Zadarius Smith, 88. Yeah.
And
Where's
that line
Mason
just,
Crosby? Mason Crosby, 77. What the fuck is that?
I mean, what's the highest kicker rating? All right, let's not answer
I
that.
don't know. You guys do your own research and find out, but 77 is too low for my boy Mason.
Anyway, we've pre-whetted the appetite for Packers, so we'll catch you in there in just a moment.
Bye.
Bye.
Wet.